That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes.
Hello everybody and welcome to Omloop Het Neiuwsblad. Yes, so let's have a look at who went in the breakaway then. And starting off with Johansen, Cobbles, De Geint, Lars van der Haar, Soep, Lindeman, Albacini, Bos, Van Aert, Slachter, Ruig, Kenyak, Ulissi and Valgarin. So, that's your breakaway. They worked together pretty well. They attacked 198k to go, and they hauled out. Degenkolb though had a puncture, but some big names in the youth classification and two winners of Cobble stages already, Tim Wellens and Dylan Groenewegen, both crashed and pulled out. While the rain is making this race difficult. Let's turn the sound effects down because they are very, very loud. Yes, the rain is causing so many people to crash right now, and to be honest, it is making the race seem a lot more treacherous. Some big names we've seen come down: Dylan Groenewegen, Tim Wellens, Nairo Quintana, Tony Galopin's far behind, Dylan van Baarle's far behind, so is Matteo Trentin, and so is Andre Greipel. All these guys have been isolated behind. Tom Dumoulin as well. Here is Greipel. He was looking to make it into the top 5. Media Markt been doing so well. Been so anonymous, but they're doing very, very well in the points as they hit the Kruisberg. This will be interesting to see what happens here. In the the Greipel group might make it back, but the pace is being set on by Carrel, who are moving on for their man, who is Alexander Kristoff, the big Norwegian, trying to go for it. There's Bustram, and Kelderman's protecting Kristoff right here. Sagan is going to go for a third win of the series. He is our winner. He can win the race today. He can win the series and the first place in the overall, and that will seal the deal for Enya. He just needs to beat Von Avermaet with a pretty sufficient gap. I didn't work out the proper maths, but I think Sagan is very, very possible of winning this. He just needs to beat Von Avermaet by maybe a couple hundred points. There's about 600 points, but maybe 800 points between them. So every point is going to be key from now on. Sagan has to finish the stage to stay in contention. Well, actually, if he finishes today's stage, he's won. When they finished him in the top 20, he's won. Anyway, next up is the Tyenberg, and the breakaway is still out here, 3 minutes and a half, and everyone is still in it from the beginning. Michael Albacini punctured, but he's still up here. So is Sonny Colbrelli, so is P. Kenyak, De Hand, Van der Haar. I thought De Hand would do better. Ulissi's been scoring points, by the way. So lots of these guys are going for the breakaway classification. As we see it break up, Jo Jensen is doing very well in the breakaway classification, as is Bert-Jan Lindeman. But here come the peloton. Alberto Constor's done almost more work on the cobble stages than the hill stages, which is interesting. Silva just mob the front of the peloton at the moment. There is Von Marke. They're going for him, of course. But look, there are six Silva guys. I know counting's not my strong point, but I can count that. Or at least I think I can. That's a lot of people. Maybe because their jersey's so sort of eye-catching, I can notice that guys more. But Quick-Step as well, they've been doing very well. There are 4 people here for Gazprom. We have Dmitry Guzdev, Von Avermaet being protected by Feline. Then we have someone else as well, Turns, who is cracking, by the way, blocking Longeveld. Here is Kristoff then, moving towards the front as we see Samuel Sanchez on the pace with Feline. The peloton's getting whittled down, and so is the breakaway. They are splitting up, and there's now a lead group of 4. P. Kenyak, Slachter, Lindeman, and Ulissi. Ulissi needs the points. Slachter's also scored some points. Lindeman needs the kilometers. It's interesting. Kenyak's never been in the break. Everyone else has. Ulissi went on the first opportunity back at the Ronde van Vlaanderen, and he held out till the end. He got a top 20 position there, and that is what's making us stick. Kukelera's down. It's a shame Kukelera's not scoring points for Neon Velo. I don't think they've actually have many point scorers. It's just Kukelera who scored 5 in Ronde van Vlaanderen, and or whatever his name is, Maunerscourt. But I actually think he's the second lowest scoring first round pick behind Christophe Laporte. But of course, I don't think Team Basso was going to light up the score sheets, were they? There goes Sergio Henao and Nicola Bonifacio. Scott Thwaite is behind as well, as we see a puncture for Jakob Fuglsang, who's already had a lot of bad luck. He got top 25 in Ronde van Vlaanderen. Orica Scott have not been doing well in these cobble stages. They're very far down in the points classification because of the fact that they are not balancing they're waiting for the hill stages, and they're pretty much relying on Valverde to get their points. Third pick for Borks in the Orica kit, getting its first use of the season as Sagan goes. Sagan attacks, and that's the first real move of the race. With 37k to go and Sagan is gone, because he knows he has to try and get them. And here come Theo Bos and Rob Rauch. They are back, but we'll have to look up and see what happens to the breakaway later on. And Kelderman is now doing the chasing work. It's very, very interesting as we come up to the Boombecker. And here comes Kenyuk. He's leading them over the climb. He is a good climber himself. There are a lot of flat strat sections left of this Omloop Het Neiuwsblad. There aren't many bergs that we're going to be looking for. No real hills, just kind of flat to the line. There is a slight kick up to the line. There it is, in Haint. Who has what it takes to win, though? Sagan, maybe. An uphill sprint favours him, but a sprint favours Christophe nonetheless. Everyone, though, it's a pretty open race by the looks of it. 43 guys with 28k to go, but we still have some more cobbles, starting with the Potterstraat. And the Potterstraat now to start section, full for Diego Rosa. As I said, the rain is not benefiting any of the riders at the moment. 43k to go, and Von Marke goes. Von Marke again, and Ian Stannard finally making a move. Ian Stannard doesn't normally do anything. So it's surprising to see him make a move. Kwiatkowski as well, finally active after a long break. And Sagan goes again. Sagan digs to try and make it up to the Kenyuk group, as we're going to call it, or maybe the Ulisi group. As Sagan now puts on the hurt, and Avermaet has been caught out. Matthews has to try and chase. They're working for Stibar back here in the peloton, and Christophe, I think, has made the move. No, he hasn't. So Garau also with the burden of chasing for Alexander Christophe. Who else is up here to contend for the final? No real contenders. Soup is holding on from the breakaway. He's a good sprinter on a day like this, but what's going to happen? It turns as well. And Jesper Steven, they're working together. They have to try and carry one of them to the line. Gilbert as well hasn't scored points in a while, but what's going to happen? They're all back together, and there goes Van Avermaet. He's been holding the energy for that one, and Van Avermaet, the Olympic champion, goes with Sagan in the wheel, and Stannard behind on the Longemunter. And here we go, and Van Avermaet just leads him out. It's a group of 7, and they're not going to work together. That's been the problem the whole way through this series, and it's a group of 11 near the front. And I think this group of 11 are gonna stick. No, they're not working. They're not working. None of them want to be together. And Narsen's chasing behind. This looks to be the glimmer of hope for Pete Kenyuk, who could score a point today. Wow, who saw that one coming before the stage? Pete Kenyuk scoring a point. They're gonna have to work for Stannard now. That's an extra teammate for him. Tom Bonen has many teammates in this front group, but now we see Von Marke go. Von Marke goes, and Haint is the only obstacle now. It's a hill sprint, but with 13 kilometers of flat land until then, it's going to be a battle of the attacks, and Von Avermaet goes with Sagan. They ran away back at the Ronde van Vlaanderen for the first race, and Christophe goes and tries to attack now. Car with no wins in this series so far. We swing around the corner and a long road awaits. Christophe, though, is putting on the hurt, and it's a 7-man group. Stibar's going to try and chase. Here was Roulans, who needs the points. He's doing well for FFL. He's going to try and represent them. Degenkolb as well. No one wants to carry Degenkolb or Christophe to the line. This is interesting. 7.5k to go, and it's but back to a 27-man group, and also Kokar is here. Michael Matthews as well for Dimension Data. Tom Bonen, as I keep on saying, he hasn't done much work at all, but he's still up here time after time. Ulisi pushes on, and there goes Sagan again. Sagan attacks, 5k to go. The rainbow jersey goes for it. Von Avermaet chases, and Christophe in the wheel. It's a group of 3 now, and this could just work. 4k to go, and Sagan pushes on. Christophe on the right, though, wants to try and attack. No one wants to carry each other to the line, and I wonder why, because they have to try and out sprint each other. 28 seconds then. Back to the Roulants group. This is the minor group for the other GC guys, and it's a sprint. Sagan opens it, and Sagan's gonna win it, unless Von Avermaet comes around him in the end. Von Avermaet's gonna come close, and it's gonna be on the line, but Sagan takes it as win number 4, and with this he might have sealed LA. Spring Classics, Von Avermaet comes in second, and Christoph in third. I think it's gonna be Stibar who wins the sprint behind, finally scoring some points. But what a close sprint that was. Van Avermaet came so close to beating Peter Sagan, but it didn't happen. Stibar gets 4th, Standard for 5th, 6th for Roulon, 7th for Degenkolb. People so annoyed for Mediamarkt, because he needs those extra points on the other guys, especially Christoph, who gets the extra jump on him, and that seems to be it. Sagan has won his 4th race. First pick, and I think we could call him our champion in waiting, Peter Sagan. Nothing can stop him now, and he's won, I think, the orange jersey. Oliver Nassen gets top 10, Kwiatkowski welcome back to top 10, Von Marker as well in top 10, Jürgen Roulans in top 10, Ian Stannard as well for Sky finally getting a good result. But now all that waits is the Liège-Bastogne-Liège, the final monument of the race. Who else is up there in the top 20 then? We have Brian Kokar in 11th, Philippe Gilbert in 12th, Ed Turns 13th, Michael Matthews for 14th. Good job for Dimension Data getting 4th, 14th, and no Elise up there. I said Tom Bonen, and Bonen was nowhere to be seen. They had to go for Lars Bohm. Interesting choice though. Quickstep Flooring noticed dominance before. Nicky Terpstra in 20th position. But this will make things interesting. The top 3 though I think will stay the same. It is the top 3 today. Sagan, Von Avermaet and Christoph. Nothing has been able to separate them apart from Sagan winning. They've been on the podium in almost every combination possible. This was your podium from the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Actually, this is your top 4 from the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Sagan, Von Avermaet, Christoph and Stibar. So it's a proven result that it proves who really is the best couple, guys. So we wait on the last people to come through. It's been harsh all day. We have to get to go for my guys. El Abdia is the last proper rider with 10k to go, but I will see you in the results page. That victory has pretty much summed up the whole of this series. So who leads then? It is Peter Sagan who still leads and who seems to be the winner in waiting. He's done it, he's sealed the deal. No one can take his victory away now. 600 points are up for grabs in Liège-Bastogne-Liège tomorrow, and Sagan has a 900 point lead over Greg Von Avermaet. Second place is still up for grabs though. Christoph has to try and get a place with that scores 200 points. That is a top 16 position. Is it possible? Probably not, but we have to wait and see. Von Avermaet looks set to be our second place. However, it gets messier further down. Michal Kwiatkowski, Esteban Chavez and Zdeněk Stibar all very close on points at the moment. They are all guys who can score big points at Liège-Bastogne-Liège. As well, Alejandro Valverde in 11th could leapfrog into 4th place tomorrow if he takes the win in Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Alaphilippe as well is right up there to contend this. Ulysses as well could also do very, very well. It's going to come right down to the last race to see who finishes in that top 18. Chris Froome as well, 18th at the moment, looking to score some points unless Michael Matthews or Wout Poels can pull a flyer. So then in the young riders, it looks set to be Alaphilippe's. Groenewegen did a good job, he's the best cobble guy. Gaviria in 3rd, no one saw this one coming. Jesper Stuyven in 4th, and Tim Wellens in 5th, still riding off that win at Idre Harrebeke. But it looks to be Julien Alaphilippe's win at that one. That is a 3rd race in a row where he's won the young riders jersey. No, this All-Stars Vuelta TDF 4th race in a row where he's won it. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. And he looks set to be our winner of that one. Breakaway, it's going to come right down to Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Whoever goes in the breakaway between Bert-Jan Lindemann Roubaix and Chris Juliansen seems to take the win. I think it might just be impossible for Message Botna to get it, maybe Brom Tonking as well, it's way far off, but the battles for the minor placings in top 10 are still up for grabs. So, that's everything from this one. Let's preview next race, and as I said, it's Liège-Bastogne-Liège, it's a big one, La Doyenne, the old lady. And that will be the race where we pay tribute to Michele Scarponi. La Campione sadly died. This morning I didn't really have time to properly make a video of it, so I'll talk about it in tomorrow's Alley and dedicate that one to Michele Scarponi, because it's pretty big news, and you know, it's kind of shaken up the cycling community. But anyway, until then, thanks for watching, please subscribe, and ta-ra.